How we doing? Good morning, good morning. Well, maybe not good morning for most people. Good afternoon, I guess. Good evening. Previously on Kimba TV. If it loses this support where bulls needed to defend, it's gonna nuke. It's gonna come down as quickly as it went up. So, CME cleaned. It got both. Consuela is back above the US border. Entry here, stop loss here. Same thing on something like this. Entry here, stop loss there. Or, in my case, I was able to get the 450. I think I went all the way to 550 on some exchanges, but not too bad. Pretty close to bottom. Yeah, I probably have like 2-3 hours. I think the timing is always impeccable, but we're probably going to be able to see if 1027 is going to hold. If it doesn't hold, we'll probably see a squeeze on the longs. We might have 4 hours. I'm not sure. Well, I'll let you guys. I'll let you know in a little bit, Lusky. I'm also going to be here probably for CME resumption tomorrow. So I think we have plenty of time to do some altcoin nerd out. Can you imagine if we get this Papink today live? Okay, so just on some goofy shit in like the next 3 hours or next 2 hours, this actually nukes. Swing fail, of the 2300 level is a potential ETH long. And as you guys know, I don't think it's going to do it in the next 2 hours, but just on some goofy shit, we're looking at 125 to 120 for that long on Sol. The timing is always amazing, isn't it? When the streams start. Shays, isn't the timing pretty impeccable? I feel like the volatility. You know what's crazy? On the weekends, when on the weekends when I start the stream, volatility starts. On the weekdays when I end the stream, the volatility starts. So how blessed are we? One, we might be able to see a little bit of a long squeeze together. We'll see the Fibonacci and the 1027 levels kind of interact. And we might even get that lower low live. But anyways, let's not get too carried away. Everybody sees the 600 Bitcoin long at 103,050, right? That guy's probably going to get filled. The 1,168 Bitcoin long at 103,000, spoofer McGoof. Unless we see these guys closing, allowing that to get filled, which would be hilarious. Okay, anyways. Let me take a look at ETH BTC real quick. Golden Pocket got turned into resistance. 886 is going to get turned into resistance, which is going to make a lower low. Damn, how crazy would it be if we got to see this shit live together? This could be a little bit of a Saturday juicy juice. I'm going to delete this fib right here. We might not even have time to do an altcoin nerd out because we have to get an altcoin juicy juice. Okay, well let's keep it. Let's watch the you know what and those big limit orders first, and then Larson is asking, you think 103 is spoof? How? Just pattern recognition. Before, I would say maybe 80-90% of the time. They'll cancel it last minute, but we can watch. The fact that most of the time it gets spoofed, if it actually does end up getting filled, would mean something. So you can ask the OGs and the veterans, but I would say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, anything over 1,000, they'll cancel it last minute. And you can watch it with me. All right. Mr. No Money says, I want to say, but I got plans. It's all good. Go do your thing. Eventually, I'm going to have to go eat brunch, and I'm going to have to pretend like I have a stomach ache and take the trade from the bathroom. Mind Gaming says, hi, bro. Can you look dot? Sure. Dot is basically easy. I'm going to be looking for 2.7 sweep. Dot, I'm looking for 2.6 to get swept. DP says, can you look at Tau? Sure. Let me nerd out on Tau. Tau, like here. Gotta be testing it. Mr. Mo Money says, I set my alert at 102.5, so I'm ready if there's volatility. 102.5. Okay, gotcha. I would actually set it for 102.7 if I were you. I think if you want to take a long and you want to see if that low holds, then your alert is already going off once it penetrated the 0.5. If you want to take the long lower, then I would set your alert for a little bit higher at like 102.7. You probably don't want to be alerted when you're losing value area low, when you're breaching or near the 886. You probably want to be alerted before. Tiberiev says, Kimba, can we look at AVAX, please? Sure. I mean, I really want to do altcoin nerd out, but you know that we're there's a chance that we're gonna make a lower low, like in the next hour or two. So, fuck, man. AVAX. Well, here's the levels. If you want to just copy the levels, we've had these for quite some time. So, we can nerd out on it, but obviously the level that, you know, we wanted to long, you know, we're way past that, right? So we're looking for 12.27, my guy. I've been waiting for $12.27 for quite some time, and if that bitch don't hold, then fuck. Okay, so let me just kind of skip to the answer and give you 12.27, dude. But yeah, I think we have to watch Bitcoin for the next 2 hours, dude. I mean, if it bounces off of 7.5 or golden pocket, then I think we're Gucci and we can start talking about, oh shit, sorry. If it bounces off the golden pocket or 7.5, then I think we can start talking about altcoins. But I think we have to watch Bitcoin. Crazy timing, huh? Yeah, but there you go for AVAX. Is that cool, Tiberiev? Ismail is asking, Kimba, are you long? That's a negative. Make sure you rewind and get caught up, okay? Ismail, everything's been talked about. Yeah, there's a couple of things fundamentally that you probably don't understand if you're asking that question. One is that a good low or is that a bad low? And what do you think usually happens during weekend bad lows, right? The next question would be, do you understand the concept that it's not finished until all the single prints on derivatives are grabbed? So it doesn't make sense that you would take a long before all the single prints got grabbed if you're truly bullish. If you rewind and get caught up, one of the confluences for taking a long is that you didn't get CME doing a bearish retest at the value area high and the VWAP. Bitcoin derivatives like Binance, they already did this. It's right here right now, right? This is derivatives already did this. So in the medium time frame, what would make sense is to take the derivative again, clean, okay, and then try to play it all the way up to like 104. And we put these levels on live. So these are kind of like your boundaries for the CME. Alrighty. And last but not least, like you know that I'm not going to get bullish until we get back above golden pocket. So it just made a lower low. All right, Ismail. So anytime that this is like it's this kind of setup, you're not going to see me in a long. I've never taken a long from right there in the last 3 years. Yeah, what I would do is let this come all the way up, clean all the single prints, right? Because if it leaves single prints, it's what? If it gets everything, it's what? So I rather do something like this, or in general, just like getting back above the blue line and turning that into support. Conceptually, if you remember, that's exactly the same thing that we did here. Get back above. So unless you get back above the blue line, in my opinion, I don't think you're bullish. And even if you did get back above the blue line, you would have to convincingly show me change in structure and bullish retests. All right. But anytime that you show up late, Ismail, you need to rewind and get caught up. We already talked about Sol. We talked about ETH. We talked about ETH BTC. We talked about, these longs and the shorts. So make sure you get caught up, okay? And I think the juiciest thing is about the 104 CME play, because derivatives already got to do this. And CME hasn't. So it would make sense. Derivatives are doing this right now. So it would make sense to clean, get back here. CME opens maybe with like a small gap or something like that, like Bellagio, clean, and then go. So I would wait until all the single prints got grabbed and we're doing some sort of like bullish retest. And even then, I would seriously think about TPing or, maybe thinking about a short here once I get to see the reaction CME on Sunday or Monday. Get nasty on him, Ismail! Makes sense? Yeah. Is that good or bad? Down there. What do you think will happen? Is that finished or unfinished? And so always remember, be prepared. Always be thinking worst case scenario. It's the weekend, so you're just going to have to be extra patient. Keep an eye on open interest. Let's get nasty with it. And then make sure you rewind and get caught up. All right? We're just going to keep vibing. We're just gonna keep blowing that Latuche. I probably have like another hour and a half, so I don't have to go to brunch anymore. Alrighty, Nana says, but CME is good low. You tell me. How many ticks how many boxes is that? It is. JV says, we also talked about 3 drives possibility. That's exactly why I'm watching this. Because theoretically, as long as you don't break structure, this is your second, and you might get the third one. And think about how long this is spaced out in between. So you're looking at tomorrow right before CME comes back online. So it could fuck around. This is about 24 hours before CME opens tomorrow. So do you think 100K is going to break? Yeah. Order flow is completely fucked. And we haven't even seen like longs getting squeezed yet. So this is what I would do. We spent all that time, right?
You know, one thing
identifying
my
this
me,
level.
He said,
okay.
What did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
In 22 minutes, we're going to get a 30-minute candle close. So we've been streaming for about 5 hours, 4.5 hours. Okay, we can wait another 22 minutes, I think. All right, but not too shabby, right? Let's go. And all that stuff we talked about, you know, this is how you would play it. Like, I'm going to just do it pixel by pixel, exactly how we planned and talked it out. So kudos if you know. It's probably not too late to rewind and get caught up. You guys doing okay? So, Tershad, you're a lion cub. Obviously, you've got single prints that you're going to shave at, VWAP that you're going to shave at. But what's the next sort of higher time frame level of interest going into tomorrow and Monday? It would be pretty cool to be able to get this, right? Something like that. That would be cool. And then even high. RG Bargy just dropped 69. Let's go. Apmo says that's going to be brutal. Not really. We talked about it, but you know, we don't know what it is. So now all the single prints are grabbed. The low looks good. The first candle arrives. The second one cleans. As long as the next one is a higher low, the structure looks good, right? We didn't, you know, we said that it doesn't have to be everybody, but we got about half. All right. So now the story that we're going to be talking about is the 104 bearish retest. Yeah, if you can get through the single prints. And at this point, stop loss and profit. Ideally, you don't lose that type of shit. Wow, it took all day, but we at least got it. I'll kick it for another 45 minutes so we can see this 30-minute candle close and the next one. Just in case anybody gets round tripped and wants to talk about, okay, how do I get back in type of shit. Ideally, you already planned for that. But all right, RG Bargy, my pleasure, man. Pretty cool day today. But to be honest, though, RG Bargy, this is the real question. Based off of where we left off last night, for example, let's just start with observation. The CME lows got cleaned. Derivatives did not. Right? The level that it left it at was not. And by the way, RG Bargy, this is going to be a scalp long. Okay? You know that we're going to go below 100 now. So, if this works, it's really only to here. To clean this. Roger that. Any questions right now? ETH in the box? I know, dude. Okay, you guys want like the breakdown? Dudes, I think all of these are, again, worthy of longs, you know? But on the higher time frame, we're probably going to go lower. So what do you think about the preparation, though? I mean, even though we couldn't really like nerd out, at least we put this shit on, you know, before it did this thing. Look at this, guys. Shit. 21 Slippy says, I got in the ETH long at 23.30 exactly. Brother, make sure you put your stop loss at break even. So Yeah, it's a bummer that it's doing all this on a Saturday, dude. It's going to go lower on the higher time frame. So your only two responsibilities, 21 slippage, put your stop loss at break even, okay? Go ahead and get round tripped and just get back in. Okay? You need to start thinking about lower, brother. And I'm going to just throw this out there, but if this level doesn't work, then you need to start thinking about like 18 hundo, my guy. Like down here again. I'm going to actually do this. It's probably some goofy shit like this, my guy. It really is unbelievable like how simple sometimes these things can be. So, dude, I'm with you. I have some of these longs. But we're probably going to get round trip. This isn't done. Yeah, and guess what? Guess what, bro? Watch the bounce at 100K Bitcoin because hella people are going to try to long and they're going to get wrecked too. Yeah, so like I said, best case scenario with this scalp long is that we get it all the way up to like 104, and I think that would be a gift. If this scalp long goes up into like the imbalances for Sunday to grab for our CME to grab its own, then yeah, because now what you're hoping is the derivatives are so imbalanced, it's gonna correct, right? So you got to get above that, swing highs, swing low, golden pocket that needs to get flipped into support. And then this is what you would be looking at when CME comes back online, because like we said, derivatives got to do that and it did not. So you would have to be thinking about that. Okay, but there you go. So we showed up 5 hours ago. We knew that something was brewing. We prepared. We were patient. We were disciplined with it. We talked about how we would get into it pixel by pixel. So there you go. What do you guys think about today? A little Saturday juice? So hands up if you guys are in it. Do you hands up if you remember you need to get into the long before this. You need to allow yourself to chase it before this. Okay, and to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck if you're in a long or not. You understand? If you didn't take a long, do not sit there pouting thinking like you did something. It's a Saturday, who gives a shit? Okay? So, I mean, I think we did a pretty good job like anticipating levels. I think we did a pretty good job of being patient. I think we did a pretty good job of anticipating, you know. This is your structure change right here. All of this shit. Like, do you guys know, like, when I draw all this shit, isn't that exactly what you're kind of seeing here? Look at all this on the smaller time frame even. Look. So, recovery, that's your 1 minute candle closes. So even on the smaller time frame, you know, and remember, the box was here for a reason. So if I had to guess, most lions, they have entries somewhere in here. If you took this long. Your stop loss is probably any sort of like structure change, like, we're starting to run out of steam. Oh, back again. You got to get out. So this just has to continue to. A little Saturday juice. And at this point, if you did take a long, you have to be sitting here pulling your fibs, anticipating like a golden pocket or 7.5. So you already should have a plan on if this does pull back into like your entry zone. You need to close out at break even. Do not lose money. Just trust the structure. If the structure breaks, get the fuck out. Don't even try to chase that bitch. This should go and clean the single prints at least before you have a little bit of a golden pocket pullback. So I think on the smaller time frame, if it starts to break, like it's okay to round trip and close it break even. If the bears push this to make a lower low, the floodgates are open and we're going to see 100K be lost. And I don't know if it's like going to be right now, but you can pretty much guarantee that 100K is going to be lost. If the bulls are able to change structure, so I think you're going to have to get above 102.7. Because it has to be a swing fail or a failed auction of that level, regardless of how low it deviated. So getting through single print is great, you know. Just be careful, just like how we had support getting turned into resistance, that, you know, you don't want that. And so we already talked about that. Even if you get through the single prints, watch out for like a golden pocket pullback. And the higher time frame, 30-minute structure is going to have to hold. And then, even then, you're still going to start making lows that are going to be fucked up and primed for getting cleaned. So if you're looking at this and you want this long to work all the way to here, you basically need to get above, you have to have CME open above value. That's basically what you need to be able to play the narrative of the full rotate, getting to value area high, getting the CME, do the bearish retest of that, basically be able to play that here to here long. You need to make sure that CME opens above value. And so if it fucks around or whatever, and let's say like it breaches here, but it goes up here or whatever, and it starts to turn back around again, I think you probably want to shave. Any questions? If you did get stopped out, you need to understand that you live by the fib, you die by the fib. So, like getting stopped out in front of the golden pocket, that's unacceptable. You need to be putting your stop loss behind the 75786. If this had come back and it went like this and it cleaned it and it stopped you out, I would understand. I'm going to assume nobody got stopped out. Now you have made a higher high. All right, so stop loss break even. And like we said, watch out for, so you still need to be aware of what you're going to do by moving your stop loss at break even. It's going to get hunted. All the way until you break above 102.7, you should be thinking about your stop loss is going to get hunted. Yeah, like, can you understand that the bull div on CVD is no longer? So this made a lower low. What would we have preferred on this? For it to have been a divergence. We would have wanted the CVD to not dip any lower than here, to indicate that the buying pressure, we wanted the buying pressure to indicate that we're still good. So the CVD bull div that we were anticipating got broken. That's something that should tell you, even if you have an amazing entry and you feel like you didn't get stopped out on that pullback, you still have to be kind of cognizant about all of that, I think. The best thing that would tell you that your long is good is if CME opens and you get above 104 and it doesn't do a bearish retest. So in a way, like we said in the very, very beginning, this scalp long is almost an anticipation for like a scalp short attempt to be able to do a bearish retest short here. So stay safe. Yeah. And just like how we did this, we'll do the same thing for here if there is going to be a short opportunity, whether it's tomorrow or whether it's Monday. If this just nukes, we'll do the same thing that we did here for here. We'll look at levels, we'll anticipate, we'll try to use the price action. Just like how we use the price action here to kind of determine this, whatever price action that is going on here, we'll use to determine here. So, you know, let's keep an eye. If this long scalp long works, awesome. You know, we'll keep an eye on 104. Obviously, even if we get to the single prints, keep an eye on a pullback. Even if it gets to 104, keep an eye on your pullback. So, yeah, now you're just going to have to babysit data, go to the 5-minute, look at the structure. Yeah, and we'll do it again tomorrow. If the longs get stopped out tomorrow, I'll show you another scalp long. If you guys get stopped out on a scalp short, I'll show you another scalp short. I'll see you guys for CME Sunday. So don't if it makes a lower low, assume that I got round tripped. I didn't re-enter. Okay, I'm not gonna. It's Saturday night. I'm not gonna. It's not even worth it. So we put in enough time and effort. I think we're in it. If we get round tripped, it's whatever. I'll see you guys for Sunday CME Open. All right. All right, good stuff. Stop loss and profit. We can't lose. This is just a Saturday scalp. All right, so let's not get too carried away. Okay, the real juice shall come on Monday. Stay safe. And really, the real juice is going to come from altcoins. We've got 2-3 weeks, I think, to kind of start really preparing. Obviously, we've got the Sol and ETH levels. Let's start nerding out a little bit more on hype, Trump, WIF, XRP, AVAX, CRV, Cardano, DOT, obviously, Link, obviously. Yeah, lots of juice, lots of juice. Stay safe, all right? Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys for CME resumption tomorrow. Have a great weekend, everybody. Peace, y'all. Bugatti.